All right. I think this is a quality win for us for a lot of different reasons. One, it's tough, coming off of a rough home loss to a great team like Little Rock, and of course, we were on the 2-game slid as well. We're at Georgia State, and it was a long trip, and so to really be able to come out here and battle it with a different look was important to me, and I think we got that tonight. We had a lot of different players truly contribute. Not maybe just a rebound here or there, but some huge shots, some hustle plays. The thing that I really appreciated the most about this particular game was that our team, one, did a pretty good job of executing the game plan, but two, those times that we didn't, those times where we faltered, we didn't have a snowballing domino effect that went in a negative way. What we had was a great response, and that is she didn't make the same mistake twice in a row, where as a group they didn't make the same mistake twice in a row. And to me, that's my takeaway for this team as we continue to evolve, as we continue to try to fight for that championship, is that we need to be able to do that. We need to have those opportunities for us to be able to make up for or correct whatever those errors were, and we did that tonight, and I'm really excited.
The decision to put Raven in the starting lineup, what was the decision behind that?
Defense. It was purely defense. The decision behind putting Raven in, she did a good job against Taylor Galt. She probably did one of the best jobs, and we all know what Raven is she's a scorer for us. She's someone we look to come in and be able to shoot. I think she did a great job for us. With that being said, Megan, who ended up coming off the bench for us this time, did a great job defensively on arguably their best player, the kid that causes quite a bit of problems in Wharton, number 10. And she did a good job closing out and finishing the game for us. And one of the things I talked to the team about, and one of the things I think our fans will see and people will see, is that we're not going to necessarily stick with one particular lineup. I think as we evolve as a team, it's important that I also need to make sure I put this team in the best position. And I think that is right now. Earlier we talked about, and they can tell you, having 7 or 8 starters, and truly that's what I feel. I'm going to go with who I truly believe is going to help us out defensively and still put pressure on them offensively. And tonight, that was the lineup. For South Alabama, it might be something else. But regardless, every player that comes in, she comes in with enthusiasm. She comes in with knowing what her purpose is. And we come together collectively. And as we continue forward, I think that's what more people are going to see. And they're going to have to defend and or deal with.
What did you guys learn from that UALR loss coming into this game? It looked like a lot more free reign play. A lot more urgency, it seemed like. Was that something you guys were looking for heading into this game? Or was kind of upset?
Go ahead. I just know that the last game we didn't come out strong like we normally do, so we all talked about it, and we just knew that this game we couldn't come out so relaxed. Just had to, put the nail in the coffin at the beginning.
And I learned that we have to communicate right off the bat, because we can't just assume that everyone knows what we're doing, so we just have to communicate on defense, and we have to just be strong on defense, because that wins games for us, and our offense will flow.
Raven, talk about the shot at the end there. I think you hit two of the biggest threes after probably didn't have your best shooting night until then, but you hit the timely shots and you hit the ones that ended up mattering, making the most of it in the end. What was going through your mind of those last couple shots, especially that last one that ended up winning the game?
Even when I miss a shot, I don't think about it too much on the next one, because obviously I just kept shooting the ball when I was missing. But I just, after I miss a shot, I just want to make the next one. That's all I'm thinking in my head is you'll hit the next one. I have to let the other ones go and shake it off.
Coach, a big second half from Erin Peoples, winning the half with only 5 points, finished with 19. You talked a little bit about her game. She got in a little bit of foul trouble there towards the end, but she can talk about her game.
The thing about great scorers, and Erin's one of the great scorers in this conference, is they're hungry and they're always going to want the ball, and they're going to want to find a way to get themselves involved to help the team, and that's what Erin does. She does it on the offensive end. She does it with defensive hustle plays, things of that nature, and so I think that's really what you saw, just that hunger. For players with that type of mentality that are aggressive scorers, they're not going to be satisfied with 5 points. One, because they know it's not what their team needs, and two, because there's that burn within themselves to understand when they go into the game what their role is. And so really that's the product you saw in the second half.
Ericka,
Well, I was going to say, talk about, there were 20 lead changes in the game, 16 in the second half. So talk about just the composure that your team had. So when ULM, would regain the lead, the Bobcats played solid defense and would get it right back. Kind of talk about that in the play.
I think the composure was more from my players' perspective. It was their poise, because I can tell you I was getting very tired of trading baskets with them at one point. It was something that I think for me ultimately was frustrating, but as I watched them out there, they were pretty confident. So as a coach, as you watch a game, as the game kind of evolves, and as you watch the way it flows, knowing that they were playing with the level of confidence, it put me more at ease, where I wasn't as stressed out about the fact that we're trading baskets, and I knew that they understood that we're going to coach, we're going to get some stops. Like, where I could kind of take a breather and say, all right, you know what, I got to trust the team right now and let them continue to play, not be tight and continue to try to rotate to get the bleeding to stop and allow them to play, and ultimately that's what they did. And so, I appreciate that. But the poise definitely came from the team. The poise with trading baskets, it definitely didn't come from me.
Ericka, kind of an all-around game from you. Good defense with no fouls, it looks like, as well. What do you try to provide off the bench for your team whenever you're called into these big moments and play the big moments down the stretch as well?
Well, whenever I go and I just try to provide a lot of energy, because they could be dead or something. They just need some more energy on the court and just excitement, because basketball's supposed to be fun. So defense is fun to me. So.